welcome to this episode of Joy's World, the podcast. You know, the vocals are going to get better one day, I promise you. Guys, today I have a very special guest. I met him on Clubhouse. And then I found out that he is an author and a public speaker, a motivational speaker, should I say. So please welcome to my world, Mr. Jacory Wiley. Jacory, welcome.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing today, Joy?
I'm all right, you know. And actually, you've just stolen my question, because my opening question to all my guests are always the same. And that is, how are you feeling today? And you can be very honest.
It's a good day. It's a good day. Like I always like to say, any day that I'm above the ground, I'm breathing, I'm talking to you, I'm in your world. It's a good day. It's a good day today.
Yeah, my world is very fun, allegedly. But you know that, I'm a bit crazy from Clubhouse. Jacory, for the people listening that don't know anything about you, tell us your age, where you're from, and could you think of a fun fact about yourself?
Okay. Well, once again, my name is Jacory Wiley. I am from Houston, Texas. I'm 30 years old. Fun fact. I don't enjoy salmon. I'm not a big salmon eater. I'm not enjoying.
Really?
Yeah, I don't enjoy salmon. That's not one of my favorite fishes to eat.
I mean, the fact that you call it salmon makes me laugh, because we call it salmon. It's salmon.
It's salmon, yeah.
Salmon. No, not salmon. Salmon.
Oh, salmon.
Salmon, yeah.
Without the M. I mean, without the L, just salmon.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Well, you salmon.
What? I love that. I love salmon. It's great.
I'm not a big fan of salmon. You can keep the salmon.
We'll keep it over here. Jacory, so we met in a room on Clubhouse that had a lot of visually impaired people on there. So again, for my listeners who don't know you, talk to me a little bit about your sight loss. When did it start? What's your condition? Talk us through that.
Okay, well, I guess, that starts my whole journey. That starts my whole life. I like to say I grew up when I was 5 years old, because pretty much that was the day that my life changed. You know, I like to say that I'm 30 now, but I'm actually 55, because, I've been visually impaired for 25 years now. It started when my mom told my uncle and I that we had to go and clean up the room before we could eat dinner and things like that. So we were cleaning, and, us being kids, my uncle, he asked me if I just wanted to hide the rest of the things that we had to clean up away. So I was like, yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Mind you, I'm trying to get to the food, and, I want to eat. I still love to eat to this day. But I was going, and we were going to go eat the food, and we were cleaning, and I looked back, and my uncle was throwing a picture frame on top of the closet, and the picture frame shattered, and I was looking up at the glass. The glass came down, cut my right eye. From there, I developed a rare eye disease called sympathetic ophthalmia, where my immune system doesn't view my left eye as a part of the body, so it tries to attack it. I've had cataracts, nerve damage, where my eyes, like, the pressure was so high that it was basically eating away at my nerves. So that decreased some amount of vision. And pretty much that's how we got here. I experienced some hard times. By 10 years old, I was trying to commit suicide, because I felt, it just wasn't the place for me. I felt like life was rougher than what it really was, and I didn't know that it wasn't really hard at all. I just thought I was going through a hard time, but I came through the suicide portion okay, and the next day I I came to the realization that, when I wake up, I'm gonna be visually impaired. When I go to sleep, I'm be visually impaired. There's no rewind button. There's no going back in time. This is me. And, I made the decision that I was never going to allow anybody to push me to that point where I just felt like it was okay for me to want to commit suicide. So that's pretty much how I got to where I am today.
And was it difficult, like in school? Do you think like that contributed to those suicidal thoughts? Like, how was it in school growing up? What were other people saying to you that maybe, got you in that kind of mindset?
It was it was a plethora of things. School was hard. Going through school when you got kids and they didn't understand what was going on. All they saw was me, um, a kid with an eye patch on, and you know, all they could think about was like, uh, you Popeye or you Cyclops or uh, whatever names they want to try to call me and things like that. I lost a lot of my friends because they felt like they didn't want to have to hold my hand when we were playing and things like that. So um, I started to be very isolated from others and things like that. So I spent a lot of time by myself. And when you spend a lot of time by yourself, a lot of thoughts can start to swirl around in that head of yours, and that's pretty much what happened to me. I was isolated. I didn't have too many people to talk to. Uh, couldn't talk to my parents. Didn't feel like I could talk to my parents. Didn't feel like I could talk to, adults at the school. Kids didn't understand what I was going through. So I was pretty much locked away in my head with all those problems. So it was pretty much that developed that seed of want to commit suicide. And that's pretty much where it stemmed from.
And you said that you was 10 when you was having those thoughts. I speak a lot on my podcast, and I have done in the past, about my depression, and definitely like I can relate to those suicidal thoughts, but more so as an adult. So you said that you got over that feeling, but at 10 years old, how did you get over that feeling? Because I know that I've had therapy, I've had counseling, that kind of thing, but at 10, how did you kind of change that? Did you have any kind of therapy?
Um, at 10, I actually put everything into effect. I tried. Um, um, I actually went through with the whole suicide attempt. Um, thank God everything, it didn't go through. It wasn't my time. And I tried. Believe me, I put in 100% effort and just trying to lead this world. And I didn't go through counseling. It was really weird because, like I said, the day after I tried to commit suicide, it was kind of like the next morning when I woke up, I had like a whole new outlook on things. I guess you could say the night that I tried to commit suicide, I didn't physically commit suicide, but I metaphorically committed suicide to the part of me that was susceptible to people calling me names, and the part that allowed people to hurt me, the part that allowed people to make me feel a certain type of way because I had to use different visual aids to um, just live my life. These things was created for me. I allowed people to not allow me to use them because I felt like they were gonna make fun of me because I did these things. And you know, some people, need counseling. Some people can have someone to talk to. Me, it just so happened that I don't know, man. I just snapped too. It was everything just was different that next day. Like I said, it was kind of like I, woke up with a new outlook.
Yeah, and that's really important, and that I think that's really, like, obviously that's a real like positive thing, and I think a lot of visually impaired people, I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that experienced during school, having to use aids and things like that. I was the same. Like, I did not want to use my cane at all. I was so embarrassed. Like, my mum used to be like, oh, just use it to the bus stop, and I used to be like, no, like, I don't want anyone to see me, like, this is embarrassing. And I think that I was lucky in a sense that at the time, I did have friends that were good to me and that would like hold my arm to take me to my next lesson. And some of those girls I'm still friends with now. And I think, yeah, like having a support system is really, really important. And I'm glad that you was able to kind of change that mindset, because otherwise we wouldn't be having this conversation now.
Right.
Is what my next question is kind of about your motivational speaking and what was the driving force behind that. But I guess from what you said, I can kind of already get an idea of maybe where that stems from. But talk to me a bit about motivational speaking. Why do you do it?
Okay, well, my motivational speaking stemmed from I did my first speaking when I was 17, at my youth group, um, at my church. Every Friday we had Youth Friday, and some just told me it was just like, man, you need to um tell everyone your story. And I was like, man, I don't know how I feel about it, but you know, I was open to it. I was open to it, and I listened um to the thought that was in my head, because whenever something pops in my head, I normally like to listen to it. Um, so I went with it, and I told my youth pastor, hey, Hector, I wanna speak. You know, so he was like, all right, you can speak next Friday. So I went. Uh, I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I didn't know what was gonna be said. I didn't even know how I was gonna do anything. You know, it wasn't planned. It was just spur of the moment type thing. And you know, next thing you know, that Friday came and I was on the stage, and you know, and I'm telling these kids my story and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know how they're gonna respond to me. I don't know how they're gonna, you know, how they're gonna receive my message and stuff like that. And you know, at the end of it, I got off, and man, they was embracing me, and they was telling me how they just needed to hear what I was telling them and stuff like that. And you know, that was like my first experience. My second experience was, you know, when I was in college, and you know, my university had wanted my fraternity to do um, we called it a seminar. They was hosting uh, a big seminar, and they wanted us to do a I guess host a portion of it as well. So we got to do what we call jumping the hurdles to success. It was about things in college that was hurdles and ways to get over it and things like that. And my frat brothers wanted me to speak, and they wanted to know what I was gonna talk about. And I told them just kind of a little spiel and stuff like that. And I was like, oh man, you're gonna blow it away. Next day come, I do it, and I blow it away, you know. And I had one woman, she came and she told me how her son was going through the same thing that I was going through when I was younger. He was visually impaired, and he was having that same hard time at school and stuff like that, you know. And you know, it really uh, gave me comfort that I could give, you know, some good tips and some good gems to, you know, help him to be able to navigate his road a little easier and things like that. And from that day on, I was like, man, this is me. This is what I love to do. You know, I always say when you find something that you will do for free, or
Mhm.
something that you just don't mind doing, like just cause, that's a career, that's a passion, that's your niche. That's what you love to do. You know, anytime you're looking at the clock, you're like, all right, well, it's 5 o'clock. Whew, man, it's time to go. But dang, I still got to come back here tomorrow. You know, that's a job, because you clock watching. That's not something that you want to do for the rest of your life. So if that's something that you're doing, like, that's not what you enjoy. That's just something that you're doing to make money. Now, once you find something that you will do for free, and you just don't care, I don't care about, I will do speaking for free. I did this for free. I do that, but that's something that I enjoy. That's my passion. So I don't mind that, you know. And I discovered that day. I was like 2014 was when I was like, full time, gung ho, let's go. I wanna be a motivational speaker and an author. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, and I think like it's great, and I like listening to motivational speakers. People have told me that I should do it, but I just never know. Like, I'm like, I don't know how to get into that. Like, I'm just like, no, let me just do my podcast. That's where I'm going to talk. We mentioned at the beginning as well that you're also an author. You have a book called Vision to Dream. Talk to me a little bit about that. It's a children's book. What made you want to write books for children?
Yeah, Vision to Dream. That's my first baby. I call them my babies because they like my kids. You know, I put a lot of time and dedication to getting them. You know, I seen them from my paperback to, you know, where they are now, hardcover and Audible, and you know, I really just put in, you know, a lot of work and a lot of time into it. But this was, like I said, this is my passion, and you know, I was trying to find another avenue for me to be able to get, you know, my message out there. I was like, what's another way for me to be able to get my message out? You know, and I felt like people eventually gonna get tired of hearing you talking all the time, Jacory. What's another way that you can get your message out? So I was like, why not write it in a book? So that's when I was like, right, but how can I write it in a book for kids? And I was like, right, I'll turn it into a children's book. But then I was like, you know, I don't just want it to be like a children's book. So I was like, you know, you don't have to just be a child to receive a message. You know, it's all about the way that, you know, that you receive the message, you receive with an open mind and things like that. You know, I always say that. So, and that's when my first baby was born, Vision Dream. Uh, I actually, it took me a while to get it here to where I really just wanted it, but I was so happy to, you know, when it finally came, and you know, it was just here, and it was, you know, when you finally put something in your hand that you've been working on for a long time, you know,
Yeah.
there's no greater feeling than that, you know, and that's pretty much what I aspire other people to do, you know, turn their vision into a reality. You know, I do whatever it takes to turn my visions into a reality. You know, it just means that sometimes I have to do it in a different way from other people, but no matter what, my vision is gonna get turned into a reality at the end of the day.
We always have to be creative, don't we, having a visual impairment? I feel like
Right.
that's thing like is quite universal. It's like we are natural born problem solvers because every day like we face different obstacles, and I think people don't always understand that, and they don't get that actually doing like even the most basic of things, when you have a visual impairment, sometimes you have to find a different way around it in order to get the same, you know, the same goal. Jacory, talk to me about your other book, Falling Beyond the Wheels. Talk to me a little bit about that, and also what age group is your books for? I know that you said anyone can kind of get the message, but in terms of children, what ages would you recommend?
Right. I normally like to say that my books are for 8 and up, but if they if they're actually developing at a younger age and things like that, and they're starting to be able to sound out words and things like that, I'll most definitely put my book in their hands. But I normally like to say this for 8 and up, but it can be younger if they already started reading. Um, but like I said, I want to do something about one disability. That was my first one. Vision to Dream. It's about Landon, who's a young boy who wants to play baseball, but no one wants to give him that opportunity. You know, so he has to find the way to accomplish it in his own way, just like we was just saying. Um, and my second one is called Balling Beyond the Wheels, which is about a young boy named Joseph who loves to play basketball, but he has um, a major experience that ends up, you know, making him question, you know, his love for the basketball, and you know, if he really love it as much as he thought he did. And, my books are about inclusion, disability, but more than that, it's just about letting people know that there's always a different way. There's always a different route, even if it's not something that's related to a disability. Things happen to us every day in our everyday lives uh, that disable us in some type of way, shape, or form. You had accident that disabled you in some way, shape, or form that day. You was on the way to work and your car tire popped, boom, that just disabled you. You fell and broke your leg, boom, you're gonna be disabled for about 3 to 6 months. You might heal, but you were disabled at some point in time. And it's all about the way that you approach that disability when it come at you. That's how, you know, you take it, and you got a ball beyond the wheels, because Joseph will teach you that sometimes it's how you ball beyond the wheels, not what happened to you.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's important, and it's true what you say. I was having this conversation the other day with a friend of mine. She's a wheelchair user, and we were speaking about people that fear disability in general. And so I think that it's good that we have more disabled people, A, in the public eye, but B, like in your books, being the main character in books. And I feel like that will not only like help disabled people, but actually even like I have a visual impairment, I have a child, she's 6, and I think like your books will be a really good thing for her to read, because she's growing up with a mum with a disability, and it just kind of helps broaden these children. Their minds are so innocent and they're so open, and I feel like it's, I've had to have conversations with Janelle about, the fact that mummy can't see very well, and she really gets it, like she gets it. And it's funny because she always like says to her friends, like when they come over, she's like, oh, my mummy can't see that. And I'm just like, it's so second nature to her. And it's not something to be feared. And I think that, as I say, having disabled characters as the main premise of a book, I think is really beneficial. So tell people where they can get your book from. Shout out your website, because there's all the links on there. Let us know where we can get the book.
Oh yes, no problem. All right, well, you can find me on JacoryWiley.com, and when you go and you click on that website, it has all my events that I'm going to be having coming up soon. You can follow me. You can follow my blog. It has a page for my books. I'm available on all platforms, Walmart, Audible, iTunes, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, any major storefront. I'm there. If I'm not there, ask about it and they'll order it. So once again, JacoryWiley.com, or at any of your local bookstores or Audible.
I definitely want to get a physical copy so that Janelle can have it. She's got a big book collection, and I feel like we need to add your 2 books to it. I mean, you could hook me up with a free copy. I'm just saying, Jacory, do you know what I mean?
Hey, I'm most definitely going to send you that. Don't even worry about it. All I need is the address.
I got to get my freebie somehow. But no, Jacory, talk to me a little bit about, you know me from Clubhouse, you know that I'm reckless. I'm always talking on my podcast about dating and navigating the dating world when you have a disability. I know that you're in a happy relationship, but talk to me a little bit about before that. How was it for you as a man with a visual impairment navigating the dating scene?
It was cool. Because I carry myself a little different way. You know what I mean? Because I never, once I became comfortable with myself, I never truly just carried myself as a visually impaired guy. Like, I move with the comfortability. I know that I'm visually impaired, but I move comfortable. So when when women saw me, they didn't just see like, oh, it's a visually impaired guy. They saw a strong, confident, they saw a visually impaired guy, but like I said, they saw a strong, confident guy, you know, uh, somebody who knew how to go get it, what he was going after, and
what was you trying to get, Jacory?
Hey, whatever. I hey, whatever needed to be got at the time, I was getting it. So I'm on the mission. So I never used to have trouble. Even before I came along to my babe. So I was good. I was good in the dating world, but not everybody had the same, you know, the same look, or not even the same look. Not everybody had the same confidence. Not everybody carried themselves in the same way. But I would tell, us as visually impaired people, be more confident in yourself. A lot of people are so scared and so, they like, well, I don't want them to know that I'm visually impaired until so and so. Look at here. If they not gonna accept you, you know, that should be the first thing. I never, like, once I was out there, I was out there. I never tried to hide my disability from nobody. You know, you should never be ashamed of anything about yourself. And if that person can't love you for who you are, then that person ain't meant to experience your greatness. Like that's just point blank and period. Nobody should ever, try to wear a mask out in public just because, to appease people. Always be who you are. I took that mask off a long time ago, and I decided to live as Jacory, and Jacory is a pretty awesome dude. And, so just be yourself. Like that's all I like to say. And navigating that, this dating world, be yourself. Don't try to be nobody but you, and be comfortable, and most definitely don't give all that you got, to somebody before you know that they even worthy of, having all that you have to offer. So
you know that I made that mistake, don't you, Jacory? Very recently.
hey,
Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. That's what we're here for. Trial by error.
I mean, but Jacory, you need to find me a nice American man, a nice
Look,
one, not
I
one
tell
from.
you,
No, I'm not going to say where it's from. That will get
look,
me in.
I'm on the job. I got you.
Have really?
I got you. I got you. Look.
You said it on the podcast now, so everyone's going to be like, "What, Joy? I thought Jacory was finding you a man," and I'll be like, "Well, he hasn't even called me back."
Look, and I'm gonna be like, watch, somebody gonna hit you up, and you're gonna be like, they gonna be like, how you doing, Joy? Jacory told me to call you. And you're gonna be like, oh,
That'll be freaky. Don't do that.
he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. See?
A while ago, I met another guy on Clubhouse. Oh my God, why do I speak to so many men? And he was from Texas, and he was nice at first, and then he was weird. So I feel like me and American men, it's not happening here. But also, I don't know if I want to move to America. There's too many guns. So I don't know about.
It's a lot. Yeah, they serious about that guns out here, man. That's real deal.
When I come to America, can you take me to Chick-fil-A?
Oh man, it's Chick-fil-A on every block. We most definitely go to Chick-fil-A.
If I come to Houston, what's the likelihood of me bumping into Beyonce?
You say, what if we bump into Beyonce?
What is the likelihood of me bumping into Beyonce?
Whoo, that's
Small.
it's pretty slim chance. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Look, we might catch out at one of the restaurants, one of the hot restaurants if we out, So, cause they do be patrolling the city, so you might catch out at like one of the really hot restaurants, So we just gonna have to see what we get.
Okay. Well, so when I come to America, we're gonna go Chick-fil-A. We're gonna find Beyonce, and you're gonna find me a man. I mean, this is exciting, Jacory.
That's it. We got a list. We got a list. All right, we got something started.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What else I want to do in America? I'm just trying to think. I don't know. I don't know what else I want to do in America.
It's a lot
I
to
want to
do.
shoot a gun. Not at
You
a
want to
person.
shoot a gun?
yeah, not at a person, obviously, at something, but not a person.
Specify, Joy.
I'm not the police, you know.
Nah, shooting guns are fun. I love shooting.
Why are you shooting guns?
Because you go to the shooting range.
Okay. I don't want to shoot animals either.
Oh, nah. We don't gotta go hunting. We'll just go to the shooting range.
Okay.
Shoot
Cool.
at the target.
Jacory, what does the future hold for you? Do you want to write more books? Do you want to do more motivational speaking? Or is there something totally different in your plans for the future?
I got a plethora of things that I got going. So I'm already in the process. I'm about to get ready to release another book. It's coming here soon. My next one is gonna be bigger than life. So that's coming soon. Then I have a few books that's ready to go. So I'm just putting them out one by one. So they're already ready to go. Not just children's books. We're gonna expand. We're doing different things as well. And then future, man, I really got big goals for the future. Like I wanna do like a radio station. I wanna do like a broadcast company. So I got a lot of things that I'm working on for the future, and I still got a lot of visions to turn into reality. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. I hope everyone else is as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard, isn't it? Like when you're a creative, trying to kind of like stay in your grind and kind of do what you want. And that's the thing, even like with the podcast, it's like I have to keep being consistent. Like that's the biggest thing. Everyone tells me consistency is key. And it's very true. Like one day, like you just never know what's going to happen. But I think, like, as I said, I think your books are amazing. And I think that everyone listening should definitely get themselves a copy. Jacory, we're coming to the end, okay? But we'll speak soon anyway on Clubhouse. But everybody that comes on my podcast, I like to get them a little gift to say thank you for giving me your time. So I've got you a gift because through speaking to you, I know that you like me, like a little drink.
I like to drink.
Yeah, we like to drink. I mean, do you know what I mean? We've got to do something to have fun. And I know that in America, you guys like a lot of brown liquor. So I got you your very own personalized whiskey glass. It says Jacory on there.
Oh.
So next time you're drinking, you can just, I don't know, think of me. That sounds a bit weird. Don't think of me. I mean, you can think about me, but that's, you know. And also, Jacory, I'm going to get you some British chocolate to try as well, because British chocolate is better than American chocolate, I have to say. 100%.
Really?
100%. I'm going to send you some dairy milk. Yeah.
100%.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Trust me.
All right. I'm going to have to take your word for it. You said 100%. Oh,
100%. 100. Like, every American that I've ever sent chocolate to tells me, yeah, it's better. I mean, we love you, Americans. No Americans come for me. I'm not trying to start a war. I'm just saying, our chocolate, A1. Jacory, just remind the people before we go where they can find your books, and do you want to shout out your Instagram?
All right, guys. One more time. Make sure you follow me on JacoryWiley.com. It has all my links to all my books on whatever platform you're looking for them. Also have future interviews. This interview will be up there. So you guys just make sure you go follow me at JacoryWiley.com. It has all my content. It's gonna have all my events that I'm gonna be doing, my blog. Make sure you get on my email sheet so that you could get emailed about any content I'm gonna be putting out, as well as any events that I'm gonna be having. And thank you guys so much for the support. Joy, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been awesome being in Joy's world. I appreciate it.
No problem. You're always welcome in my world. Jacory, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And guys, remember to follow your dreams and follow me on Instagram at Joy's World, the podcast. Follow me on Twitter at JoyXOXO. Follow me on TikTok at Joy's World, the podcast. Email me if you're a hot guy or a hot girl, joyspodcast@hotmail.com. Remember to stay happy and live your best life always. Mwah.